right, so we're going to talk about collages today, all right? I didn't get to go to the color printer. It really wasn't working well. The colors weren't coming out right. So what I've done is I'm going to have this up today all throughout class, and you'll just pick which one you like the most, and you'll use that one as your reference. Now, you can also take parts of another one. So, like, if you like the rock that's right here, you can add the rock over here too, okay? So, just so you know, that's something that you can do. Okay, so when we work on our collage, it's really important that we work from background to foreground. Now, I did one yesterday, and I just decided to try to do it the way you would do it. I said, I'm going to do foreground to background, and it looked really, really messed up. I'll show you in just a second, okay? What I mean by that is, the first things that you'll glue onto your paper will be the sky, then you'll go to the mountains, then you'll go to the trees, and then you'll do the grass. Does that make sense? So for most of you, you're going to work from the top down, right? You're going to start with your sky, mountains, in this case lake, and then hills, and then very last rock. Sky, mountains, lake, green. Okay, do you understand that? All right? And there's a reason for that, and we're going to talk about it right now when I do our demo. All right, so you're going to start with this gray sheet of paper. I picked gray because I know you're not going to want that to show. And like I said, you're going to start with your background and work to your foreground. So we're going to start with sky. Now, let me show you the one I did yesterday. This is mine from yesterday. Now, I messed up because what I did was I decided I was going to start with my grass, and then I decided I'd go to my lake, and then my mountains and my sky. And you can see where it probably doesn't look as good as it could, right? Yes, Nigel. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to start with your sky. And how you're going to do it is just like you've done collages your whole life. You're going to pick out which blue you want for your sky, and you're going to start cutting pieces. Now, you want it to look as much like your reference as possible. So, and you don't want it just to be one big chunk, okay? It's not going to be super interesting as a collage if I just glue one big chunk up top. So what I would suggest doing is cut it into smaller pieces that you can kind of put together in a cool way, right? And what you'll do is, I've made it easy for you. You have a cup of glue instead of a bottle, okay? And that's going to make it so a little bit faster for you. You can paint it on. Some people like to just get on their finger and smear it. That's fine. I'm more of a finger smear person myself, but you do what you want, okay? And then you just start gluing it down, all right? And it overlaps. You want stuff to overlap in this. That's what makes it interesting, okay? All right, I don't want to just see chunks glued on. You want smaller pieces, bigger pieces. And listen, you can always borrow from a friend. That makes it more interesting too. So like I have this kind of dark blue up here for my sky, right? I'm gluing it down. But I also have this little strip, maybe I borrowed from a friend that's got other stuff on it that I like. So let's just look at this side. Let's pretend I did my whole background, even though I didn't. We'll kind of zoom in to make it look like I did, okay? So now let's say I'm ready for my mountains. Then I want to go find my grays. Where did they go? Where are my grays? All right, here are my grays, right? And here's the easy way I found to do mountains. You just look at how curved they are, and you just cut, right? And here's why you want to start with your sky, because look what happens. Now I can glue down my mountains, and they're overlapping my sky. Do you see that? Whereas if you did your mountains first, you're going to have to try to figure out how to go around all those little tiny details. Now I don't have to do that. I can just overlap, okay? And you want to think about details like sometimes there's a dark shadow, and I know that Kiara, she's really good at noticing details. Maybe you are too. But I know she's going to notice this. You can go in and find the darker parts of your black and glue it on there. And see how if I glue that on there, that's starting to make it look like a more interesting mountain, right? This collage should take you all day today, all day tomorrow, and then on Friday, I'm going to let you use colored pencils to add details. Well, I'm sorry, all day Thursday. I apologize. So Thursday, we're going to add our colored pencils. So if you look at mine, even though this one looks kind of messed up, right? If I were to take colored pencil in here and add colored pencil lines, is it going to start to look good? Yeah. A little bit better, right? At least, okay? So even if yours isn't looking the best, have a little bit of faith that on Thursday when we add colored pencils, you can add more details, okay? Do you guys kind of know how we're starting? Yes? So I have gray paper up here, and I'll be at the back pouring out glue. And once I'm done with that, I will help the people who were not here yesterday with their painting, okay? So go ahead, 3, 2, 1, let's get started.